How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a quick video, guys. In this video, I want to talk about two really small things. It's nothing super major, but I thought you guys would be really interested in it. One, which is that there might be some hints, and this is specifically here coming from from none else than Blaines, who said that one of his videos actually got blocked, and it's a video where he talks about there specifically being possibility that a Shiny Koraidon and Shiny Miraidon event might be happening because his video that he made on these two got blocked on YouTube, which usually could be an indication that something about that could be happening. So this is a small little thing, just want to mention that these two might be getting a shiny event soon. No guarantees though, but it is possible, just saying. Next up, though, the second thing, which I want to talk about specifically, is we're doing a bit of a giveaway on our own Discord. Yes, on our Discord, guys, we're actually doing a giveaway right now, which is thanks to Dickon and Toyoko, who set this up. Basically, we're giving away, we have a bot that's set up to give away these Pokemon, by the way. They're not illegal or anything like that. They're specifically cloned Pokemon. So you can get your hands on a bunch of these cloned Pokemon, and it's 3 of them. You got Shiny Mew that's been given away from the Pokemon Go event in 2021. It's been cloned. Shiny Diancie from the Tokyo Center distribution in 2015, which also cloned, and the Shiny Deoxys from the Go Raid event. So those 3, if you want to get Shiny Mew, Shiny Diancie, or Shiny Deoxys, you can get your hands on these for a while now. Now, I'm not sure exactly how long this is going to go for still. It probably might run for another week at most, so you have about a week from the posting of this video, so basically by the next weekend most likely, until this giveaway is going to stop. So you don't have a lot of time, but definitely get in there before the end of next week to get your hands on these. To do this though, basically you can follow what's being said here on the screen, or you can join our Discord if you want to get your hands on certain things more easily, because on our Discord we now actually have a bot that you can request Pokemon on. So if you're looking, for example, if you couldn't afford a DLC, you can get the bot to give it to you, right? And it's all for free. We're not asking for any money. I don't think, like, personally, I want to ask people for money and stuff. I think it's messed up to ask money for Pokemon. It's just weird. But basically, what do you have to do to get hands on the Shiny Mew, Shiny Diancie, or Shiny Deoxys? Well, it's really, really, really simple. Basically, here's what you gotta do. Go into Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, like I've done right here, and all you gotta do is go online and go to the Poke Portal. Now, my joysticks here, or Joy-Cons, are actually not working that well. And then what you gotta do is just go to the link trade right here, and mine is not gonna really work right now because I'm a bit offline, but basically you gotta set a link code. Now, the link code that you gotta set is the one that you see in the image right here. It's the one right here on the code that says link code 10140500. So that is the link code. You can pause the video right here or go to the Discord because it's in the announcement section. But basically what you got to do is type that code in and look for a character or a user called Professor Turo. Now, that name, that Professor Turo name, when you do a trade, it's going to show up right where my camera is. So you guys can see where my camera is located right here. You're going to see up in this exact corner, it's going to say Professor Turo because that's the name of the bot. Now, if you want to get a specific Pokemon, because there's going to be 3 of them, Shiny Mew, Diancie, and Shiny Deoxys. If you want to get a specific one of them, I will point out you're going to have to type in that specific Pokemon's name as a nickname on the Pokemon you're trading away. So, for example, as you can see right here, how to get the Pokemon. First of all, type in the link code. So, 10140500. So, that's what you can do right here. Just basically type in the same code. 1014 and then 05. Oops, there we go. My Joy-Con is literally glitching away. But then just 05 and then 00, right? Except my thing isn't working. And here we go. So basically, and I typed in that wrong. So yeah, 2 more zeros, and that's pretty much the code. Once you've done this, right? So this is like the easy part. Once you've typed in the code, which I literally cannot do because my Joy-Cons are lagging too much. There we go. So that's the code. Now, once you've typed this code in, all you have to do is follow the rest of the guide here, which is look for a user called Professor Turo. Once you find Professor Turo, you will have a 5-minute cooldown, depending basically on how many people are doing, how many times the bot's going to be able to do this trade, etc. But basically, once you find the bot, you can then ask for a Pokemon. Now, the Pokemon that you get, it can be random, or you can get a specific Pokemon by nicknaming your own Pokemon that you're trading away to either Mew if you want to get Mew, Diancie if you want to get Diancie, or Deoxys if you want to get Deoxys. And the nicknames are case sensitive, so definitely make sure you type Mew with a capital M, Diancie with a capital D, and Deoxys with a capital D. So basically make sure you do all those things. Again, you can pause this screen right here if you want to see exactly how it's done. Again, I'm giving just a quick summarization on how to do these things. But that's pretty much all you got to do, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a little giveaway. I asked Dickon and Toyoko to set up a giveaway because I thought, hey, let's celebrate the release of the final Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I guess, update. It's not really an update, but it was basically the release of the last 2 new Pokemon, right? So I was like, let's celebrate it in some way. Let's do something fun to end things off, right? Like a cool way to finish things up. And that's basically what we did. So yeah, for the most part, I think we figured that part out. It's pretty much, you know, done now. And also, in terms of rumors and stuff, over on 4chan, there hasn't really been much. Like, I do check in there every day to make sure there's any news that I can cover for you guys. But really, there is just nothing. There is, like, no news about Black and White. I mean, looking around, like, if there's anything about, you know, new Pokemon games, stuff like that. I try to keep up to date to make sure I can bring you guys the best Pokemon news. But, yeah, there really isn't a lot. There's actually really nothing that's been mentioned. So, yeah, for the most part, there are no news in regards to that. It's the first thing I'm going to say. Second of all, in terms of Riddler Coup, which is a legitimate leaker, he hasn't been saying stuff either. Instead, it's just been a bunch of theories and him just explaining old leaks, which people didn't really care much about because it's not really much of value there besides surface level. But for the most part, that pretty much summarizes it. I think there isn't really much else to mention in terms of legitimate leaks. The only big thing that's been happening is there's a lot of talks about Nintendo Switch 2. That's the only big thing that's been talked about. There hasn't really been much else beyond that. Like, I think it's mostly just been about Nintendo Switch 2, right? Because the Switch 2 is like the biggest next thing that we're waiting for. Like, it's literally the only thing we're waiting for. Like, I don't think there's really much else besides that that's currently being talked about. I think it's literally the only thing. So even if you go online right now, the only thing you can do is basically that. Also, I should point out that there is the Blaziken event. So yes, Blaziken is now currently in the raid event, so you guys can go and do the Blaziken raid event. That's the one other thing that you can do. There's also a new update to Pokemon Home. Home has been updated, but you cannot currently trade, just a heads up, you can't trade your Pekarunt over to Pokemon Home. So that's a bit of a piece of information I thought you guys should know. And looking through this, I don't really think there's much else that has been missed. There's mostly just been a bunch of sticker releases and stuff like that. And for the most part, it has just been talks about Nintendo Switch 2. That's really the biggest piece of information. Just been a lot of rumors about Nintendo Switch 2 for the most part. Like, that's the big one, which also makes sense because we are now, I mean, I know it's crazy to say, but it's been 6 years since the release of the Nintendo Switch original, right? It's been almost 6 years now. I mean, we're running, definitely 5 years, but we're running on the 6th year now, right? Because it's 2024, so it released in March of 2017. So yeah, it's been exactly like 6 years. So it's been a while since it came out, which means it's about time to move on to the next console. Like, it's been a while now. It doesn't feel like it, I know, but it really has been some time now. So definitely about time we move on to the next thing, which is why I wanted to bring it up. But yeah, so basically, guys, here's what you know. There is a potential giveaway coming soon, maybe potentially, just potentially, based on what Nintendo have been doing. There's a potential shiny Miraidon Koraidon maybe coming soon, maybe. We have a giveaway of shiny Mew, Diancie, and of course Deoxys. You guys can check that out. And of course, there's also the fact that Nintendo Switch 2 is again being rumored and rumored more and more, even by developers, by the way. That's the craziest part. Even devs are talking about it, which I think is the craziest part. But then, of course, we also have mostly just breakdowns of stuff. Like, for example, this is a post made by none else than Soul Silver Art. You guys may not know him, but he's one of our pals. And he says, basically he says here that he's talking about a bit of a story, actually, about, you know, specifically the new like Pokemon Pekarunt, saying part 1, why yes, Nemona, there's an old story and legend of Pekarunt, Signboard 3. The story tells Kitakami foolishly confused Ogerpon for Pekarunt's dark tactics, but the people of old Kitakami would wear masks because it shot a mochi at your mouth, and the mask would block it from going in your mouth and stop them from becoming a dancing zombie slave for the rest of their short lives. Imagine they would keep dancing without eating or sleeping until they could dance anymore. This is shown to us in the main epilogue cutscene. Pekarunt shoots mochi to make others its mindless slaves. The mask acts like Kieran's forehead ear. Yeah, basically, yes, it's just a bit of a breakdown in the story parts. But for the most part, I think the story has been breaking down. The only thing we don't know is who the human was, or the human-looking character was with Ogerpon. That's the only thing we don't really know. But for the most part, everything else is pretty clear to us. So yeah, I just thought I would include that as well, as I don't really think there's much else to mention beyond that. For the most part, no, lads, I think that is it. So I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you guys for coming through, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.